Inside Disc Golf.
Hello and welcome to Inside Disc Golf Podcast, episode 28. We're back in the studio here. Very happy to have a very special guest with me. He's a two-time European Pro Tour event champion, including Tyyni champ, which he'll be defending the title this weekend. And he also won at the Nokia Open, the last stop on the European Pro Tour. He's also a three-time Prodigy Disc Pro Tour champ, and he's won a National Juniors double title as well. We have in studio Lauri Lehtinen. Welcome, Lauri. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How about you?
Doing great. Happy to be back in studio. We have a little bit change up for the season now for the rest of the show. Victor's DNF'd. He won't continue. So we took a little bit of time off and had to reset the show. But we've landed perfect guest for this week. You won Tyyni last year. And how are you feeling about the upcoming event this weekend?
Of course, it's great to come here back after the win. And feeling great.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for people who don't know too much about your background, let's start from the beginning and just tell us a little bit about who you are and where you came from.
So my name is Lauri Lehtinen. I'm from Jyväskylä, and I started playing disc golf in 2015, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, how did you discover the game?
We had some school event back at the time, and there was a local club having some baskets at the event, and I met my first disc golf friends there, and that's basically where it all started.
Okay, and
they invited me to the local course and to the weeklies, and
okay,
yeah.
So you got incorporated into the local community pretty quickly. What age were you when that happened?
12 or 13, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So it was like a pretty big part of the school, like physical education thing.
No, it was like a clinic. Like just before the schools ended in the spring, before the summer vacation, there was like an event for the kids, and there was the disc golf club was like.
Oh, they came to do like a exhibition type thing and try to get the. Okay, yeah, that's nice. And then so what did you like about disc golf in the beginning that got you kind of into playing more?
I played soccer for like 10 years, and the difference between that was like if I wanted to go to play disc golf, it's just like I can do it by myself whenever I want, and I don't need a team to practice. And it was just a great time hanging with my friends or just alone on the course. So it was great.
Yeah, so it provided opportunities not just to socialize and that kind of thing, but also to independently practice and get better and enjoy your time.
Yeah, exactly. I liked my freedom in that I didn't have like coach or anything, and just went out there. No set times for practice. You could do it whenever it fits your schedule. Okay, so what I guess I was checking a little bit from your records, and it was kind of very like humble beginnings, right? You were not like one of those guys that started out like throwing 9,000 rated rounds. You were starting out much more gradual. Like, so what were those first couple of years like when you were learning the game? Honestly, I really don't remember those years that well, but like at the time I started, there was like many much more like better players in Jyväskylä where I lived, and like Oskari Wikström and others also, and I was always like maybe not the worst, but like definitely not one of the best, and that maybe like gave me the boost to practice more, and
right, you could
at some point beat them. Yeah,
you could see the level that some of the other guys were at, and that was kind of an aiming point for you.
Yeah, it was great because
that.
If I just in the beginning would have been the best, I think it was much better like this way.
Yeah, that's a much more usual and sensible, I guess, track for the game. So what would you say to those young players that are just getting started, that maybe their skills aren't quite that good yet, but they have big dreams? Like what kind of advice could you give them to become the best they can be like you have?
Just believe in yourself. Like maybe that's the biggest thing, and just go out there and practice. Practice is what improves you. So
so just get out to the field, get out to the course, try all your discs, learn them, and just work on everything. I guess the form and stuff.
Yeah, in the end of the day, it's quite simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not any magic tricks there.
Just throw and repeat,
Yeah.
right? Okay, sounds good. All right, so so then you started competing more, and at what point did you realize that you were good enough or that you wanted to be a professional disc golfer?
I think it was 2019. At the time I was like 970 rated, I guess. And then I won the Finnish Pro Tour event in Tampere. I was like maybe 30th best rated on that tournament. And then to win that, and I just felt like, yeah, this might be my thing, and this might be my future.
Yeah. So you were like about 16, 17 at that
I think
time?
I was 16, yeah.
16 and you won that Prodigy Disc Pro Tour, yeah. That's pretty impressive. So at that point you realized that this is a real future for you, that you can actually, do it for a job and make some money and win.
Yeah, maybe like before that I think that was maybe like my third MPO event like ever, maybe. So I didn't really have any like competitions in men's division or open division yet. I just played the juniors before that.
Yeah. And at that point you were still eligible for juniors. That same year you won the national doubles title, right? What was that like?
I played with one of the best friends, Matias Puikkonen, and it was a great time. I remember, I think Oskari and Niklas, they were of course junior aged on the time, but like they played MPO, so it wasn't like that big because some of the juniors played MPO already. But yeah, it was great memory, of course.
Nice. And then, so were you sponsored at that time already? What by Latitude? How long have you been with Latitude? And
I've been with Latitude since 2020.
Okay.
So this is my third year, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And so at that point in 2019, when you won the Pro Tour event and the doubles, were you sponsored by a manufacturer?
Yeah, I was sponsored by Discraft. Yeah.
Discraft then.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So what was the switch like from Discraft to Trilogy, and what's the relationship like with Latitude?
It was really easy, and it's been dream since I joined Latitude. Like everything has been working so well, and nothing bad to say about that.
Great. Yeah, and so I guess should we talk a little bit about the discs that you're using?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're putting with the Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say Faith, but it's the Hope. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about the throwing putters?
For this year, I took the Savior to my bag and dropped out the harps.
Okay.
It's the new throwing putter from Latitude, and I really enjoy that. It's a little bit like a lower type, and I really like to flick that, and
fits nice in the hand. There, yeah,
feels a little bit smoother for me than the harp.
Okay, what's the flight like? Is it quite similar?
Quite similar, yeah. Maybe a little bit like more fade at the end.
A little bit more instability. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Savior, and then
Mercy, of course, and then I have one really beat up Keystone. I think I really rarely like throw that, but when I have to, it comes really handy.
Okay.
You need to have something like really understable.
Yeah,
of course. Also,
get it to float there.
Yeah.
And then for the mid ranges, you're throwing the Gatekeeper, which you've been getting some crazy shots with. We saw in Nokia, like you were throwing it so far. It's hard for me to imagine how a mid range could go so far, but you're really hitting the angles and the speed perfectly with it. And
yeah,
is it a little bit beat up?
It's really beat up. Yeah, that was actually one of the first discs I ever got from Latitude. It was from Teemu, actually, from his like old storage, I guess. Teemu Nissinen.
Yeah,
he gave me that, and I've been liking the disc a lot.
Nice. What other mid ranges are you using?
Trust and Anchor and Justice.
Okay, so you got lots of different stability choices there in the mid range game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the fairways.
I have one Saint, and then a couple Explorers and Pioneers, and one Ahti, which is extremely overstable also.
Yeah. And is the Explorers like your main signature disc?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, for this year it's my signature disc. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and then what about distance drivers?
There's a lot of discs. A couple Gladiators, really beat up ones, and then rives and enforcers basically.
Okay.
And then one adder, which is also really like extremely overstable.
Yeah. Nice one. Okay, so and how's the bag feeling? Does it change much from event to event, or is it like you just have your discs and then you kind of like use what you need to use out there?
It's actually pretty same since I didn't really have good practice last off season.
That's right.
So I just basically took exactly the same bag I used last year. Didn't really have time to try out new discs or that. Even I would have liked maybe the new Honor. That's one. Actually, Silver told me yesterday he really likes that disc, and I think I should try that too. But it's basically the same as last year.
The Honor, that's kind of like overstable fairway, or what is it?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really thrown that at all. But he told me it's close to Fortress, a little bit faster.
Yeah,
straight.
Yeah, nice. And as you kind of alluded to, you had a very tough off season in that you were dealing with a major injury to your finger. Tell us a little bit about the injury and then the off season.
All started in last year's Finnish Nationals. I got a little pain in the middle finger right here on that joint, and I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. It didn't affect my play in Finnish Nationals last year. Then after that, I actually took it really seriously after that, and I dropped out from the next event, which was Turku Open. I went home to recover, and I just had a bad feeling about that. I don't know how, but I just had a really bad feeling about that this might be really, really bad thing for my upcoming months with disc golf. And then I went to play World Championships, and on those practice days, it got really bad. I couldn't really throw at all, and but I still wanted to play, of course, and it was maybe a little bit stupid because there was no signs that I would play good, so it didn't really make sense to play, but I did, and it got really bad, and then the whole autumn in the States was quite useless. Some events I started, then I DNF'd, and some of the events I skipped. So it was quite tough time there, just watching others play and dealing with the injury.
Yeah, but you had a lot of success over there in the U.S. Leading up to the injury, right? You got third place, fifth at Masters Cup, and you had a podium finish
on the
Music City Open, right?
Yes, but those were in spring.
That was all earlier in the spring. That was your first tour, and you came back for you came back after the summer from Europe and aiming for that World Championships. And of course, it's very understandable. Everybody wants to play Worlds, and that's such a big opportunity. You hate to miss it. It only comes around once a year. And,
exactly. It was my first time also. So.
Oh right, okay, that was your first Worlds. All right, that must have been kind of a bitter taste to get all the way there, but then not be able to be fully healthy in order to compete at your highest level there.
Yeah, it was tough, but I traveled with Albert and in his RV with him, and it was great time still.
Nice. Yeah, you still got to experience some of the different.
Yeah, so cool places, and so all the courses. So I'm more ready for the upcoming years if I go to those tournaments.
Nice. Okay, so then you came back from the States and then tell us a little bit about the process of the injury, the treatment, and everything that happened after that when you came back.
Then I also went to doctor, got the X-ray and all the other stuff done, and nothing serious. It was just really inflected, and also it was how to say it. I don't know how to say it, but there was it's a little bit worn out. All the stuff there, of course, because I've thrown a lot of discs in the last 8-10 years.
Right.
So then I just stopped throwing pretty much. Went to gym and went for the run and did all the other stuff I can do for the disc golf. And then there's also a mandatory military service that all us need to do, and then 2 weeks before the military service would have started, I actually I don't know if I emailed them that if I can do it now. I just felt like it takes 6 months to do it, and I thought this would be like a great time to do it since I can't go to the States last spring. So then I went there and did my stuff there.
Okay, how was the military service?
It was great. Nothing bad to say about that, but like, it was great. Great to got it done this time.
Yeah, and were you serving somewhere near where you live, or in Helsinki?
Yeah. I was in Tikkakoski, which is like 30 minutes where I live, so it was quite easy to go to on holidays and stuff like that, and practice and
Nice. Yeah, I guess it's a kind of a tense security situation here in Europe and in Finland particularly, and so it's really important that everybody participates in that military service, and it's a good example for the younger people to see that even these top level professional athletes are sacrificing their time and committing to the service the way that you have in some of the other players like that we've seen on Disc Golf Stream, Christian Kuoksa and a handful of others.
There was actually many players who did military service this spring, like Oskari Wikström also and Daniel Davidsson.
Yeah, so Atto Mäkinen, right?
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, there's maybe some others we're forgetting, but it's nice that you were able to get it done during a time where you weren't missing any competitions at least. So I think that's pretty smart to get it done, get it out of the way there while you're recovering from the injury.
Yeah, and it was also great for my mental health because if I wouldn't have gone there, I really wouldn't have like nothing to do. So
right, so it kept you occupied, kept you disciplined, and part of something important.
That's really important. Like if your life is just nothing, it's not good for you. Yeah,
it's great to have some motivation when you get up in the morning and to be a part of something that's meaningful and that matters. And so
in that place you have motivation to do everything.
Yeah, sounds good. So you were able to complete that military service and eventually recover from the injury. You also took part in the international cooperation training camp with Finland and Sweden here in Helsinki at the Olympic Training Center. We did a little bit of a feature about that on Inside Disc Golf. What can you tell us about that experience? Of course, you couldn't fully do everything with the injury, but you were also taking part in like all the stuff that you could. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't do the throwing stuff at all at those camps in Helsinki and then later in Stockholm. But it was something new I haven't really experienced yet. And I think it's great that they have started that kind of like cooperation with Sweden and with both teams' coaches and share the information and everything like that. I think it's really good for everybody of us.
Yeah, those guys are really leaders in their field, and they're pushing the boundaries for the technology and for the study of the physics of disc golf and coaching. So it's great to get an opportunity to learn from them and then be part of that community. And what was it like when you guys went to Sweden? Was it similar type of a experience or?
Yeah, quite similar. We actually did all the same tests there and saw that if there's improvement on those or not. And then all kinds of classes and stuff like that.
Do you feel like any of that stuff has helped make you a better player this season?
Yeah, sure, somehow yes. But as I said, I couldn't do that throwing stuff, so I missed out quite much from that. But still,
a lot of it was focused on the kind of throwing mechanics and accuracy and the putting and stuff. But
yeah, of course, it's disc golf, so
sure, a lot of that. So you missed some of the sport specific type of stuff, but the other training, how did you feel like it was pretty helpful for your body generally and the mind and everything?
Actually, we didn't do that much like training stuff. It was like only tests basically.
Okay,
but yeah, I had still quite nice improvement on everything. Even I was in military service. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So then let's move into this season. I guess the finger started to feel a little bit better in the spring, but you still weren't able to throw really too much, or how did it go?
Actually, the finger was really bad, really late on spring. Okay. It was maybe 1 month before my first tournament in Tali, the Finnish Pro Tour in Tali. And I think it was my first time going to the field. I had only my putters, of course. it was like really short field. I went there and threw some like standstill shots, tried to see how to hold the disc again, and it was terrible. I could throw like 40 meters. Oh, no. And every other disc like slid out of the hand and every other just grip locked. It was insane. I was there like, I think I threw like 20 shots and the pain was like insane.
Wow.
And at the time I had to like 6 months almost like break from disc golf. And still having that much pain, I felt terrible. In that moment I really thought that this is it. Like,
it's not working. You're not going to be back to what you were. Maybe not even able to play disc golf again. Right? It must have been a very dark place. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, but somehow like I rested like 5 days and then went back to field, and then it was a little better. And like my coach told me that like when you go to practice throwing again, like the finger needs to be like healed. So I did that, like even if it was like 5 days or a week, I had to take a break from throwing again. But like for somehow it just got better by like throwing, and also did a lot of stuff in the gym to like help the finger and strengthen the finger, and so it can hold pressure again.
All right. So
and also I had to change the grip completely to throw.
Okay, so you're throwing now still with a different grip than what you had done in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
Completely new grip for me.
Wow, that's amazing that you're back to the level that you were before now, with making so many adjustments and going through so many difficult obstacles there in the off season.
Yeah, it's to be honest, it's like quite crazy how well I played these first 4 tournaments I played this year, because like before Tali I had thrown maybe 5 or 7 hours, like only few like rounds before that, then play like decent still.
Very decent. But you haven't been out of the top 5 yet this whole year.
Yeah.
Right. So you were 4th, I think, in Helsinki, and then Estonia 5th in Estonia.
Yeah.
And then what was the next event?
Nokia, first in Nokia.
Okay, yeah. That was the next one. Yeah. Then you were back on top there.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Nokia. That was such an amazing and exciting finish there. You came into the final round 4 strokes behind Lauri, I believe, or 5.
Was it even 5? I guess
Might have been 5. I think, because were you in?
I was 3rd.
You were in 3rd place. Yeah,
Daniel,
that's right.
was leading me by 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you were 5 strokes behind coming into the final round, and Lauri Lehtinen has looked pretty much unstoppable this season.
Yeah.
So what was going through your mind coming into that final round? Like, how did you get that done? Like, that was such an incredible comeback win there that final day.
Yeah, I definitely put my all in on that, and I knew I have a chance to win. But of course, 5 strokes it's much. Like I feel like 2 or 3 strokes, that's like quite easy to do if you're like behind the leader. But 5 is something that like the leader needs to mess something up.
Sure.
Because like there's a limit how good you can be. Like nobody's going to play -18 at the Beast. So, but yeah, Lauri wasn't having his day, and but still like late on back 9, it was quite like I think it was all of us on the lead card.
Oh yeah,
we were like really like tied up.
Yep.
And somehow I had 1 stroke lead going to the last hole, and par was enough on that. And yeah, Daniel had to put a little pressure on you there, but he came up just a little bit short on that one. There was some comments in the live stream that Lauri was sick, maybe, or that he was having some kind of a flu or something. I don't know if that was true or not. Did you notice that he was a little bit off with his health, or you think he just had a bit of a bad round? I don't know. Might be true, but like Lauri usually like really focuses on his play, so it's hard to know what's going on in his mind. But like
he's a very, very focused, and he's had an incredible year.
Yeah.
I guess he's basically been right up there at the top at every event. The only 2 players to actually beat him this whole year is you and Teemu Tallikainen. I think well, for the major events, for the European Pro Tour and stuff. So I guess what did it feel like to be on the top of that podium there at the end in Nokia? I mean, after all the injuries and the trouble in the off season, wondering if you're even going to get to play again, it must have been quite an amazing emotional experience.
Yeah, it felt great.
Just a relief from all that suffering, and to know that you're back where you belong there. Yeah,
even like I played quite well in Tali and in Estonia. I still like wasn't sure if I'm able to like play at the level I did last year. But that was the moment I knew that like the injury isn't bothering me anymore that much, and I'm able to win again.
That's great. Yeah. So you're only only the second player in the MPO history to get 2 wins on the European Pro Tour. Lauri, of course, was the first one. He got them both this season. But what does it feel like to be in that kind of elite company on the European Pro Tour?
Of course, it feels great, and I've been really enjoying the European Pro Tour events. I haven't played that many of these. I don't remember how many, but like these tournaments feel really like professional made, and feels great, and like to have like all the best in Europe here playing. So and as one of the players that's been over to the States and played lots of different events, how does it compare to the Disc Golf Pro Tour and to other type of situations you played in? Of course, the level is like on another level in the States.
Sure, yeah, the competition's much fiercer.
It's much better there, but like all the other stuff, how the competitions are made, it's actually quite similar, I would say.
It's run professionally, and that everything's taken care of,
and to have the live, what is it called?
Coverage,
live coverage is, it's I think really nice step for the sport, and not only have those couple days later posted. With the
post-production, Disc Golf Stream has been a ton of fun to follow all those events. Last year we got to cover the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour as well, and we saw a ton of exciting action on both that and the European Pro Tour. Then this season we're going to be covering the Finnish Nationals as well as the European Championships in Estonia. So really bright future for Disc Golf Stream, and it's a lot of fun to get to watch you guys out there doing your thing. Tell us a little bit about the Finnish Nationals coming up, because you're living in Lahti right now, is that right?
Actually in Jyväskylä.
Okay, you're back in...
Just a couple months in Lahti last winter.
Okay, so I guess you haven't played too much in Mukkula then?
No,
where the venue is?
No, not at all.
Okay. I was looking on your PDGA page, and it still had your residence listed as Lahti, so I was thinking maybe it would be a home course advantage.
At the time when I took the license, I was living there, so...
Okay, so it's not really a home course advantage there, but... What would it mean to you to be the Finnish champion? National champion?
It would mean much. Like before, I haven't had that much success in the nationals. I think the best is from last year. I was 4th. Then I think I have won 7th place finish, and then like 10th or 11th. So not that great finishes.
But moving up all the time.
Moving up all the time, and I really feel like my time will come.
For sure.
Might be this year. I feel like the course really suits me. So,
all right.
Yeah, I'm feeling great about that.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That's only going to be in Finnish language, I believe, but we will be covering that live. And then there's the European Championships coming up in mid-August. What are your thoughts about that?
Actually, those are my first European Championships. I've never played.
Okay. You didn't play the last one in Kanopiste?
Yeah, I wasn't there. The course is going to be like, how to say it?
Temporary.
Yeah. I actually visited the place when I was there for the Estonian Open.
Okay.
There was like some baskets here and there, but like, of course, not the same course. If I remember right, Seppo is the one who will design the course, or has designed.
That's right. Yeah, I believe it's finished now. Yeah.
Yeah. The place looks great. It's much like open holes, I guess, and it's going to be really windy because it's like right by the sea, and it's like open area. But like, yeah, yeah, let's see how Seppo has done with the course.
Yeah, something we're really looking forward to seeing here on Disc Golf Stream.
Yeah, I'm really interested how he has like used the place, because there are like a lot of different opportunities how to build the course. So, but I think Seppo is the right man to do it.
Absolutely,
he has a lot of like experience with the courses and.
Yeah, he's done a lot of course design, and then he's also competed at the top level all over the world. So he knows what it means to and what it takes to build a championship level course. So.
Yeah, that's great competition. Like have the experience with the course designing, and then like he knows how to play. So
yeah, that's perfect. So we're really looking forward to that. Make sure you tune into that on Disc Golf Stream. And then coming up this weekend is the 5th stop on the European Pro Tour this season. That's the Tyyni Open. Just right around the corner from the studio here. You're going to be heading over to play a practice round with Silverlat right after this. Let's talk a little bit about Tyyni. Of course, you won it last year. 2 years ago, you were in the lead, right? You were coming into the final hole, and you threw out of bounds twice, right?
Yes, I did.
And that was... I think you shared with us that was like your worst moment of your disc golf career. Does that still hold true?
Yeah.
So yeah, what did it feel like to come back the next event or the next year of the event and win very convincingly as well? I think you won by 5 strokes or 6 strokes maybe.
Maybe not that much. Maybe like 4 or 5, but
okay.
still.
But it was one of the biggest wins we've seen on the European Pro Tour anyway. Up to that point, I think it was the biggest win in the MPO, the biggest margin of wins. So. What did it feel like to come back and triumph and get your revenge on the course after that really, really difficult loss the year before?
Yeah, it felt amazing. I remember last year I had really big problems with my putting, and like all the nights after the round I went to practice my putt, and it felt like really bad. But like somehow during the rounds I was able to make the putts. But yeah, it felt terrible for some reason, my putting. But like, it was great feeling to go the last hole with that enough lead that it doesn't matter if I throw OB twice, I'm still going to win. Like, didn't have the same pressure that the year before.
Yeah, so you worked really hard to make sure that there wasn't any chance of
this hole is not going to ruin my win this year.
Yeah, it is a pretty tough finishing hole, isn't it? I guess you have to do that water carry if you're trying to attack for the birdie, and there isn't really an easy layup either. So it's kind of like it really does kind of force people to sort of attack the green, and then a lot can go wrong, I guess, if you're not very accurate at that distance. It's maybe 110 meters or something to the basket or something.
I think Silver told me he range find it's 120 something.
Okay, so it is
quite
quite
actually a little bit longer what it says on the sign.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense because it's pretty hard to reach even the end of the water for me. So yeah, that explains.
Yeah, and wind is like really weird on that hole. Like usually it's from left to right usually, which makes that like when you throw the hyzer from the right side, it's just going to drop.
Yeah, instead of finishing. Yeah.
Exactly. So you never cross in bounds if you make that mistake. And when the wind is really high, you just need to like aim straight to the basket with hyzer, which like in your brain it feels really, really wrong.
Right.
Like you don't want to do it, and then you easily make the mistake and go too much right, and then the big number is waiting you.
Okay. Yeah.
But for this year they have like a little bit opened up the fairway behind the basket. There's much more room than last year.
Okay,
I was playing yesterday, so
you can
it's
push
a little
it
bit easier this year.
Okay. So what would you say as a former champion of the event and one of the top players, and you had a lot of success on this course before. I think you even won a junior event there in Seabay. Of course, it's probably a different layout, but
yeah, maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, but what would you say are the keys to success on Seabay course? A whole 18 maybe, just surviving that. Would that be one of them?
Yeah, don't throw right OB on that. But all in all, I guess putting is really important because there's a lot of OB close to the baskets, and you really easily like putt OB.
Right.
Which of course that's every time like 2 or 3 strokes even might be. And there's a couple of holes you have to be really like smart. It's the monster hole. What is it? Maybe 5. Yeah, 5.
That's the hardest hole in Europe, I guess. Statistically speaking, from you. Yeah. or it was last year.
Yeah, just be smart on that, and then you need to make many birdies on the rest of the holes. And I feel like playing the way that you're not going to get too many bogeys is great. Like play safe mostly, but then how to say it? Like don't risk too much, because the birdies are like gettable, but like if you have like 4 bogeys on the round, then that's pretty much it. You're not going to play hot round.
So it's like calculated risks.
Yeah, calculated risks on like each hole.
Yeah,
like differently.
Yeah. So you got to kind of set a game plan.
Exactly.
And then you got to watch those scary greens, of course, you know, with the putt. Make sure your putt's dialed. Make sure you're not taking any too big of chances if you're not feeling it, right? Kind of trusting your instincts there on the green.
And when those important holes come, then you just need to commit and make it happen. Like even if you're having the great game plan, it's not enough. You have to make that happen also.
Yeah, you have to connect when it matters the most.
Yeah.
Capitalize on all the opportunities.
Yeah, that's maybe my biggest advice.
Yeah. So that when you're in position, then you have to make sure that you score.
Yeah.
And then just maybe being a little bit more cautious on some of the really dangerous holes, like the long par 5. Perhaps do you just play that for par, or because it's quite a challenging one?
No, I don't actually.
You're going for it.
Yeah, like but still, I'm playing it decently, like safe.
Right.
Of course, I will start with forehand, and that should be quite easy to the sweet spot. But then the next shot I'm playing mid range only, so that's the moment where I'm going to play safe, not throwing any drive or something crazy.
Just keep it on the fairway, because it's
on
such
the
a narrow little winding fairway, and if you get off, the footing's quite bad.
Exactly, the footing is really important on that hole, and to have great footing for the third shot, it's important. Even it's a little bit like far away,
right?
Still,
you need a run up, or at least a sturdy.
Yeah, and and then you will at least have an easy par. So that's not bad on that hole at all.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts about the Tyyni event, or anything happening this week? I guess it's a busy week for you. You got a lot going on, right? You're going to be on the feature card. You're going to be at the press conference. You're here in the studio with me. Like, I guess just tell us a little bit about the Tyyni experience for you.
It feels great to come here every year. I don't know how many times I played this tournament on different divisions, maybe like 4 or something. But I decided to come quite early this year. I will play 3 days practice rounds, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm ready for the tournament, and I really want to play good this weekend.
Sounds good. And you had an off week last week for the Johannes. What was your Johannes like? Yeah,
it was great. Got to relax for a bit, but also did a lot of practice. Yeah,
sounds good. Excellent. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your plans for the rest of the season. I guess after this year, what's your coming events looking like? Do you have it laid out, or are you kind of just taking it as it comes?
I'm having an off week next week, and after that I will go to Norway for the PCS Open. And when I was thinking about what tournaments to play this year, I really wanted to have the off weeks there, because I didn't know what's the situation with the finger, and I still feel like it's a great idea to have quite many off weeks to just make sure that nothing bad will come with the finger, because now I'm in quite a good situation with the finger, so I don't wanna risk anything with that.
I think that's really smart. Give yourself time to rest and recover after each big event.
Yeah.
And just kind of aim your focus on the events you do play and do the best you can there.
Yeah. And then I'm going to play European Open and Finnish Nationals and European Championships. And after that I will go to States for the World Championships, and then hopefully play the USDGC later.
Yep.
And then maybe some Finnish Pro Tour events in between of those.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple of Prodigy Pro Tour events in September, and so that maybe when you come back, those will be an option. The venue for the Worlds is in Vermont. Have you seen that course?
Yes, I was there last year. I think I played 2 rounds on the tournament and then I DNF'd.
That's right, yeah.
But I have like practiced those and walked those courses and yeah, it looks great. I really enjoyed both those courses. And yeah, I think it's a great place to have World Championships.
Sure. And you think it suits your game pretty well? You think you can perform well on those courses, yeah?
Yeah, if I remember right, it was quite windy last year. The other course is more like in the woods, and another one is more open. And I think it's a great combination.
It's a good balance between the...
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something to look forward to. We'll be excited to see that World Championships. Right now you are... you're 1029 rated and you're ranked 25th in the world, which makes you the 3rd highest European next to Simon and Niklas. That's from UDisc rankings. Do you have any goals associated with that type of thing, or is that's just kind of stuff that happens as a result of your good play, or like, is there someplace you want to see yourself, or do you think much about that?
Of course, at someday I want to be the best and win worlds and everything like that, but like, yeah.
But it's a process.
It's a process, yeah. It's not going to happen like this year, not maybe next year, but like...
That's what you're working towards.
Yeah, it's my long time goal.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I think you have great chance to do that. You have really strong mental game and really another level of competitive energy that's very evident in your expressions when you play. We can see that like you're very focused, you know, when you're in the element there, when you're in your moment. And I think that can go a long way, that mental strength and that ability to focus. So
yeah,
that's something we really enjoy watching you play. You have a really fierce kind of look in your eye when you know something's going to happen. It's kind of magical, really. But yeah, really exciting player, and we've got to watch a lot of your success on Disc Golf Stream. It's been a ton of fun.
Yeah, nice to hear.
Yeah. So I guess we can kind of start to wrap it up. But is there anything else you want to talk about before we close the? I mean, of course, we'll get a chance to thank the sponsors and everything.
Yeah.
But any other topics that you want to talk about?
Nothing really comes to my mind at the moment. Yeah, it's been like really great topics.
Yeah, I think we've covered quite a lot.
Yeah.
And so I guess what is it that fans out there and listeners can do to help support you in your disc golf journey?
Of course, like follow me on social medias. That helps a lot. And then if you want, you can buy my signature discs also.
Yeah. What's the best place to get those? Fribastole
sells a lot of different signature discs, so there you can get one.
Yeah. And Fribastore is one of your sponsors as well?
Yeah.
Right, so you're sponsored by Latitude, Fribastore, and a couple of other sponsors. Tell us about that.
Then I have Vivo Kauppa, which sells the shoes I'm playing with, the Vivo Barefoot shoes. And then my coach, Vahva Kivuton from Jyväskylä. He sponsored me also.
Okay, great. Yeah, so make sure you do everything you can to help support Lauri in his journey. And thank you so much for coming in. It's been really nice to talk to you, and we're wishing you the best and looking forward to some really exciting action this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Inside Disc Golf. We've had Lauri Lehtinen, very much fun. Make sure you tune in this weekend for the Tyyni Open on Disc Golf Stream, and come on back for the next episode of Inside Disc Golf. That's it for this episode. Andrew Gum here and Lauri Lehtinen. See you next time.
See you.
Inside Disc Golf, the European Disc Golf podcast. Everything about European Disc Golf in one podcast.